Vampire Survivors collaborated with Balatro to ensure I never have a productive moment again. RuneScape removed microtransactions, someone went to great lengths to recreate the original prototype Xbox, and I have thoughts on LEGO Voyagers and Jotunnslayer, plus our demo of the week. I'm Addy, welcome to JAMPACK'd Disc 1. First up, what are you playing this week? I've been hooked on Digimon's story Time Stranger. After reading some developer interviews, I decided to break my pre-order rule and support it big in place of buying Pokemon this year. But I was late to start it. I'm thoroughly enjoying it so far. The combat, the evolution and catching systems, it's kind of exactly what I've been craving from Pokemon in the modern era. The dialogue and the constant interruptions from the operator to hold your hand are not ideal, but just very Bandai Namco in terms of game design and experiences. But it's a good time. I still have a long way to go though. I will say the first encounters are some of the most hype intros to a game ever. Like we're talking God of War 3 levels of epic. Like, what a way to start a game. I've also recently picked up a PS4 Slim, and it was on older firmware, so within 5 minutes or so I was up and running with a jailbreak, and I'm having a lot of fun exploring that side of the system. Popped in a big 2TB SSD in there too, so I have plenty of room for games and homebrew. I'm actually surprised how much nostalgia I apparently have for the PlayStation 4. I spent my last couple years of college coming home and playing on it every night, and something about the solidness of the system, the XMB, it all just feels so slick. Plus, having one that's completely offline means I'm not being flooded with updates every time I try to play a game, which is a nice touch. I have a lot of coverage planned for the PS4, so stay tuned. Let me set up just how much contrast there is in gaming news lately. Are you ready? Amazon laid off their entire gaming division in a massive 30,000 employee layoff, one of the largest layoffs the company has ever had. Meanwhile, Rockstar Games is now accused of union busting, as they just fired between 30 and 40 employees, all of which were union members or attempting to organize a union, accusing them of misconduct. Sorry, but you don't have that significant number of people being a part of misconduct in any context in a work environment. This is as blatant union busting as it gets, and you won't see me playing or covering GTA 6, as they deserve zero support here. Easy for me to say, as someone who's not a fan of GTA games really, but really, a company only does this when they know they can get away with anything. So what's our line gonna be here as gamers? But on the other side of the coin, RuneScape developer JAMPACK'd really wanted to get rid of the game's most hated microtransactions. They launched an in-game poll, sort of, asking the players if they wanted to remove the controversial treasure hunter microtransactions from the game entirely, which would also remove over 220 items, including experience boosters, from RuneScape 3. JAMPACK'd CEO John Bellamy said the vote is one of the most important moments in RuneScape's history, but the poll itself was simply a button to vote yes for removing the feature. There was no no option. The vote already met the 100,000 required entries for JAMPACK'd to remove the features, but they're asking for more votes to use as evidence to their board that they should remove other microtransaction related features. Neat. I don't know how they sustain the game then, but very neat to see them going toe-to-toe with their board here. In more scenarios of telling corporate to piss off, the recently independent Giant Bomb crew just had a successful 24-hour fundraising stream, where they aimed to get 1,500 new website membership signups to help secure funding for the team for the next little while. They brought the couch back and everything. Amazingly, they blew through all of their original goals within like 40 minutes of the stream, and were scrambling to make up new ones, new stretch goals and all of that right away. The stream ended with GB getting more than 5,600 new website memberships, a truly incredible showing of support for independent games media. And I could not be more excited to see that happen. The future's looking up for independent media. YouTube, on the other hand, has been concerning me with their policies. Ever since Neil took over as CEO following Susan's retirement and sad passing, the site has been doubling and tripling down on monetization, product-focused features, shoving shorts everywhere, and AI. Things have kind of gone downhill, in my humble opinion, as someone who's been on the platform for its entire lifespan. And things aren't looking up anytime soon, as Neil just announced a new era of AI for YouTube, while offering buyouts for basically all US-based staff in the company to try to avoid layoffs. This is all while AI is popping up in all corners of the platform, from content generation to controversial force filtering of shorts, to now upscaling all older sub-HD content, to just summarizing videos in the first place so you don't have to watch them, so creators don't get views, so then YouTube doesn't even get ad revenue. Like, none of it. They're destroying the planet to add face smearing to older content and that no one wants, and to what? To keep us from watching the very videos the platform is meant to serve by reading the text summaries instead and not getting ads. I don't understand. Neil currently sits on the boards of Starbucks and Capital G Management Company LLC alongside his CEO role at YouTube, which I just find a little weird. You might not see me for a while, as Vampire Survivors just got a massive free content drop with a Balatro-inspired mini DLC, Antechamber, as part of it. New stages, online co-op, and tons of secrets added to the game. The update itself is entirely free, but you will need the Castlevania DLC to have access to it, which is fine. It was only a couple bucks. They just keep giving us more of the game for something that only originally cost a few bucks. This is one of those scenarios where we should be able to just give them more money. I guess gift the game to your friends this holiday season. Lastly, some really spooky email scams have been going around, including fake support tickets from major websites due to some Zendesk exploits, and a new one faking PayPal emails by using a forwarded email address. Stay safe, folks, and remember not to click on anything you didn't ask for in an email. Delete and block and move on. I've got two games I want to talk about today, so I gotta make it quick. First up, LEGO Voyagers. This is an affordable and adorable little co-op game for 2 players that I played through with my 5-year-old son. You each play as a red or blue single block LEGO piece that live on a cozy island together until a rocket launch sends them on a life-changing adventure. There's some platforming, some puzzle solving, some peaceful moments to just kind of kick back and enjoy together, and some big emotions at the end. Some of the puzzles were challenging, but not too hard, even with a 5-year-old controlling half of the game. Definitely give it a go with a loved one or a close friend and prepare to tear up just a little bit. Or maybe a lot. The pacing is kind of all over the place, as each chapter can be anything from a brief stroll through a nice scenic area to a puzzle that takes you 10 or more minutes to figure out and complete. There's only a handful of obvious milestone progression points, so you're never entirely sure where you should leave off when you're ready to take a break. I'm specifically not saying too much about LEGO Voyagers, as it's a pretty short game, and any detailed spoiled would honestly be a shame. It's all worth experiencing blind. I would note, however, that the game is symmetrical for about half of it, meaning you get the same seamless co-op experience regardless of whether you're blue or red. But starting maybe halfway through the game, the experience does shift and each player will have chances to do different things. So just keep that in mind. It will affect how things played. And honestly, completely opposite vibes, I've been addicted to Jotunnslayer Hordes of Hell for the whole month of October. In this Vampire Survivors meets Diablo game, you play through 6 different stages with different gimmicks and mechanics and themes with 6 different characters to choose from. Along the way, you can upgrade the individual character's skills, unlock passives for all the characters from the 8 different god ability upgrades, and unlock higher difficulties and endless modes for each stage. I feel like Jotunnslayer requires a little more strategizing than Vampire Survivors with your builds, though you do eventually just kind of unlock everything, and then certain abilities like Local Ragnarok from Odin are super OP if you can get them. But once you level up your characters enough, it's easy to treat hard difficulty, or hard with modifiers even, as kind of your default. I've beaten 2 or 3 levels on Insane now, but struggling with some of the later ones still. I'll get there. I'm just grinding up my unlocks so that I can keep getting better and better. The range characters are definitely preferable to me, but all 6 characters are different enough to provide quite the varied experiences. This has been my go-to Steam Deck game for a while, and I won't be stopping anytime soon. I have a What's Up With First Looks video on it if you want to learn more, linked in the description. I do hope this game gets an expansion at some point, because it's a lot of fun. There's not a ton of content to it. Like I'm like 20 hours in now, and I've played everything. You just got to keep unlocking the extra stuff, but like nothing further new unlocks at that point. So I would love to see more content for the game, like Vampire Survivors has been getting, but I'm hooked. Like something so deeply satisfying about the gameplay loop that I'm staying up late for it. I'm putting off work tasks for it. It's kind of bad. This mess right here is our unboxing segment for today. We won't always have these, but I have been very public in my excitement for what we have in here. This is the Thor. This is a new retro handheld from that is basically a 3DS with OLED. And 3DSs are stupid expensive right now. So you could actually get this for the same price you could get a 3DS, and it is a major upgrade. Obviously, it's not a native 3DS. It's not going to play your carts, but if you dump your carts, or you didn't have them in the first place if you don't have a 3DS, it's a wonderful way, or it seems like it will be, to play 3DS games. You got lovely cards telling you the specs and system information. This came in the mail while I was filming this episode, and I had to check it out. Thing is chunky. That's not a bad thing. Oh, I forgot I got the translucent purple. Got that atomic purple vibe going on. Oh, it's so sick. Yo. Got a little dust on the screen. Yeah, this is everything a modern 3DS or even like a PSP, PS Vita kind of emulator should be. It's got R1 and R2 on the back. Your Nintendo ABXY layout, dual thumbsticks. Start select. D-pad. Has micro SD card slot down here. USB-C, headphone jack, power and volume. And I believe it supports display out over USB-C, from what I have read. Which would be really cool, especially because 3DS captures are pretty expensive as well. I'm going to turn this bad boy on, see if it has any juice. Look at that beautiful OLED. A 3DS with OLED is just kind of insane. I believe 120 Hz top screen, 60 Hz bottom screen. Select your language, English. Connect to the internet. Okay, both screens are touch screens, which is insane. This is an Android-based console, which I don't know if I'm a huge fan of conceptually, but like it's fine. It's beautiful though. And like it felt a little thicker and chunkier than my 3DS, but it's not necessarily any heavier as far as I can tell. Okay, you have two different launchers to choose from, AOSP and the Thor launcher. The Thor launcher is much more big, buttony, switch-like. I want this to look as unlike a Android device as possible. All right, so it comes with the game launcher up top and then your standard kind of Android interface down below. I'm betting people are going to make some really slick launchers for this that completely change the like capabilities. Yeah, okay. So right off the bat, we have video output options. DisplayPort over USB Type-C, and you get to manually specify the resolution and refresh rate. You could do 1440p at 120 Hz if you want from it, which is bananas, or 4K 60. So at least in terms of capturing the top screen, that will not be a problem at all. That's awesome. All right, obviously I have to get games on this and figure out what to do from there, but first impressions are very high. This thing is beautiful. So stay tuned for more coverage on the Ain Thor, because this thing is incredible. I had just a couple things I wanted to talk about from my own work today. First, the 32-bit library Greatest Hits Volume 1 book reached its funding goal on Kickstarter right at the end of October here, so I'm hugely grateful for that. I had the opportunity to contribute to this book, and I can't wait to have it in my hands. Stay tuned to the Kickstarter page for more updates there. I've been experimenting with new, old formats of more personal videos like I used to make. And the first of these two are live now. Actually, both of them should be live by the time you watch this. The first one's talking about place-based nostalgia and how we leave a part of ourselves kind of behind at places we spend a lot of time at, including some games. The second one's about buying stuff and trying to stop that, and what do we do with all the junk that we accumulate? I'd really appreciate it if you went and checked those out since they're not super algorithm friendly. Lastly, my forums over at demodisc.zone are back, and I'm trying my best to keep up with them so we can have better conversations away from modern social media. Give it a look, and those who subscribe will get a secret section with my videos available for download, ad-free viewing, and in early access, assuming I get them done in time, which is happening more and more lately. Now, if I just focus on lost saves, I can always deliver early access. It's the post-box stuff where it gets messy, but we'll see. There's lots of good stuff on the web recently, but I would be remiss if I didn't point you towards a video from Macho Nacho Productions, where he and a few other modders spent the better part of a year completely manufacturing a replica prototype Xbox. You know, the giant, actually X-shaped one from scratch. This project is a masterpiece in collaboration, dedication, and pure passion for the hobby. It's completely impractical, and yet nothing short of impressive. Next up, I wanted to give a shout out to Digital Foundry's DF Direct segment, talking about the Halo Campaign Evolved announcement. They were critical yet fair, excited yet cautious. It was the most balanced perspective I've seen on the game yet, and I was stoked to finally see something not sensationalized. Piggybacking on this with another DF video, the DF Retro Super Show podcast has finally begun. This features John, Audie, and Corey and Tri from My Life in Gaming, and has been a few years in the making now. The first episode is all about the launch of the PlayStation 2, my favorite console ever, and it's a great watch or listen. In the last little bit of neat things to watch, 404 Media just put out a little mini documentary piece about someone still making neon signs today and keeping the art alive. As someone with multiple real neon signs and a great appreciation for the medium, the format, I love people who dedicate themselves to keeping something so unique going. Our demo of the week goes to Lady Dracula. This is a classicvania, a retrovania, a Castlevania-like game in the truest older sense of Castlevania. No Metroidvania-ness here. You've got gothic inspirations, occult themes, skeletons on motorcycles chasing trains, a very unique difficulty system, and solid Castlevania action. I had a blast with this demo, so much so that I actually sat down with the developer to chat about the game's inspirations and development. I have a video with that interview coming soon. The game comes out sometime in Q1 2026, but the demo is available now and absolutely worth a go. I think I can attribute playing this demo and talking about the game to finally realizing that I may not be a fan of Metroidvanias as a genre. I may actually just prefer the classicvania style. And that's unlocked something we may explore in future videos. That's all I got time for. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching this first episode, this first disc of Jam-Packed. If you like what you saw, be sure to subscribe, come chat about it in the forums, and share your favorite news or stories or game demos of the week, and I might feature them here. Otherwise, go check out the Dualcomm and Party Chat podcasts I host with BBK Dragoon, and remember to be kind, rewind.